Hello, welcome to Exhibition with your host, Santiago, and I'll be a card thrower.
I'm Caden, I will be a second card thrower to show what a novice would be for reference.
And I'm AJ. I'll be leading the Cheers experiment, which we'll be finding out in a second. However, let's see what these two have in store first.
To test if cards could be a threat against humans, firstly recreating the humans for the experiment. To do this, we'll use Jell-O to mimic human tissue and serve as the target for the cards.
To throw the cards, we'll actually be using the Thurston method, and to analyze any form of damage, we'll be seeing how deep the cards actually made it through the gelatin.
For our next experiment, we'll be looking over the phenomenon of how territorial students are over their seating. Through this, we intend to study it by completely restricting students to just the 5 table groups that will be seen in the following footage, while also redistributing chairs from the various different combinations that were seen in the seats to be equalized. And finally, by completely removing all but 2 tables from each table group, making them more restrictive on space and forcing people to have to either accommodate each other or fight over their space. So what even is this experiment? We're going to be testing to see just how territorial students will be over their seating, like the following clip.
You guys mind if I start?
Penny, that's where I sit.
We're trying this because we've noticed as a student that a lot of others will be kind of defensive over where they sit, specifically if people invade their space. So we decided to stimulate that by taking away seats, redistributing them, or even taking away tables, like the image currently being shown. It went interestingly, to say the least. So, what happened? Overall, a lot of cases ended up like this. However, there were a few more fringe cases that ended up more akin to this clip. Both cases were still commonplace, however, there weren't any other cases of things happening more violently. This ended up being a very civil type of experiment, so we can't really say that students will be super territorial. And so, overall, I'd say that, drumroll please, compassion wins. Yay!
The origins of cards being thrown as weapons is widely accepted to have come from the book Cards as Weapons by Ricky Jay. Depictions of this myth is shown in popular media, a good example being the following clip from John Wick Chapter 4. How we collected data was by having the gelatin 2 meters away from the testers. These testers then threw cards at the gelatin, in which case we recorded the penetration in millimeters. We then wrote down the depth and averaged it out to roughly 2.9 millimeters. This kind of penetration on average would break skin, however, it wouldn't be far enough to hit any vitals. This on top of the accuracy issues seen on the footage would mean that no, an average person cannot kill someone with just a playing card. So based on our standards and our tests and experiments, we cannot confirm that playing cards can be lethal.
However, the variable of us not being professional card throwers is impossible to ignore, and because that, if you are a professional card thrower, if you were to try this experiment, you'd likely arrive at a very different conclusion.
As for the chairs experiments, as previously discussed, students would much rather go against the authority telling them where to and where not to sit rather than start fights with their fellow peers. So therefore, in conclusion, our myths are both
Busted!
Don't worry about it.
Is this for your project?
Don't worry about it.
I'm scared.
Don't worry about it.
That's way too strong.
Okay, that's funny though.
Hello, welcome to our Mythbusters video, and
A little warning before you start recording.
That's good.
Thank you for giving us your time.
We hope you enjoyed this presentation.
hope you have a great evening and enjoy exhibition.
I know that one place parents want us to draw the line is with violence in video games.
Trump hosted a meeting with video game makers and their critics at the White House today. He was busy. They're looking for ways to reduce youth violence following the Florida school shooting.
The information and evidence continues to grow. Many experts convinced violent video games have a negative impact on teenagers. They become isolated, temperamental, and aggressive. The concern's so high, some cities actually want to ban the sale of violent video games. Many worried the impact on a yet developed brain could lead to violence.
Video games cause violence. This has been a widely circulated myth, propagated by news outlets. The commonly agreed upon origin of how it started.
The investigation into the high school massacre is slow-moving and dangerous. The two gunmen who went on the rampage booby-trapped the building and even themselves.
The tragic Columbine school shooting in 1999 is often said to be the main catalyst for the myth. The two perpetrators were avid players of games Doom and Doom 2. This led the media to conclude that playing these violent video games was a contributing factor in the two shooters' decisions. Ever since, this myth has seemed to have stuck. And in the following clips, you'll see us put this myth to the test.
But before we start our experiment, let's introduce ourselves.
My name is Sebastian, and I'm the editor and one of the script writers.
I'm Logan, the second scriptwriter and visual director.
I'm Elijah, and I'm the lead scientist.
I'm Jupiter, the art and design coordinator.
To test this myth, we've created an experiment that evaluates the emotions of a person who plays a game for an hour. Every 30 minutes during the experiment, including the start, we'll administer a questionnaire to evaluate the subject's current state. We'll also take our temperature and heart rate alongside the questionnaire. This is because it's proven that increased heart rate and temperature are linked to aggression and violence according to the Promises Behavioral Health Company. The actual science behind it and our thought process is that we believe if we find an increase in our BPM and temperature throughout our gaming sessions, we can arguably determine a link between anger. Now, just to be clear, anger doesn't automatically mean violence. We acknowledge that, but since anger can sometimes lead to violent behavior, we're using it as a clue to see if video games can even spark those emotions in the first place. We all prior had compiled a list of games to play together and on our own. For the multiplayer games, we settled on Minecraft, Team Fortress 2, and Lethal Company. For the single player games, we decided to do Doom, Tetris, and Minecraft again. But for the single player games, we'll only record 2 people's experiences, including mine and Jupiter's. Now, onto the experiment.
In our first gameplay together, we all decided to play Minecraft, a sandbox survival game, alongside another friend of ours named Jax, someone outside of the project. We all loaded into the game and took the pre-game evaluation test as well as BPM and temperature. Or, well, some of us. At the time, not all of us could take our temperature or BPM, with me and Sebastian being the only ones, so bear with us for now. My BPM was 96 and my temperature was 98.4, and Sebastian's temperature was 98.8. Like I said earlier, not all of us could take both our temperature and BPM. I apologize, but nonetheless, I digress. Our main objective for our 1 hour of gameplay was just to progress as far into the game as we could. We spawned on a snowy biome and didn't do much for a while, and it wasn't until we all got together that we decided to move and look for wood, which we quickly found.
A tree! Oh my god, guys,
We all got stone tools and decided to explore a cave that Jax found. I go searching for iron alongside with everyone else, with some holding better luck than others. Not much happens till around the 20-minute mark, when Jupiter accuses Elijah of taking their iron and Jupiter kills Elijah.
I am on 1 heart.
Bro, I put my own iron in there. I didn't take anything.
Dog, you took my iron out.
I put more in there.
Everybody,
No,
I don't have any more.
Check right now. 14, what is it, like 33? Check it right now.
It is 30, and then there's 2 iron in the thing. But I swear to God, you took 1 iron nugget out of
What
the
what is happening right now?
Jupiter killed me unlawfully because he thought I stole his iron.
Their disagreement continues for a bit, but they both drop it after they decide to look back on the footage when the recording finishes. Anyway, we all soon left the cave. Some of us died while others lived. Some got armor, some didn't. Sebastian decided to leave to go look for better stuff since we weren't in a good area. This was the 30-minute mark, and by this point, we were all split up. This also meant it was time for us to take our second evaluation, in which my temperature was 97, with my BPM at 89, and Sebastian's temperature was 98.7. Afterwards, Sebastian found a village but sadly learned there wasn't much good loot, and so he left. Around that time, I decided to join him while everybody else, Jupiter, Jax, and Elijah, all decided to build a home and just chill for the remainder of our session. Sebastian found a ruined portal, and both he and I decided to go mining to rebuild it. We did this for roughly 20 minutes, and we both found diamonds in that time frame. Sebastian decided to go into the nether after I died to a skeleton. However, our gameplay soon finishes as the timer ends, and he found nothing worth mentioning. Furthest we got was the nether. We took the final evaluation, and Sebastian's temperature was 98.8, and my BPM was 77. My temperature wasn't recorded due to forgetting to do so. Overall, the only quote-unquote violent moment our group had was when Jupiter killed Elijah for allegedly taking their iron, which wasn't really an act of violence or anger. Jupiter found it reasonable. And if you're wondering, yes, Elijah did take the iron, but swore he had no idea.
I ate a piece of chicken and I did not heal a single piece of health.
I am on 1 heart.
Bro, I put my own iron in there. I didn't take anything.
Dog, you took my iron out.
For our next game, we decided to play Team Fortress 2, a first-person shooter game. Only Jupiter, Elijah, and I will be present in the session as Logan was busy, and so was Jax, who will unfortunately not be present for the rest of this video. I was the only one who could take my BPM and temperature yet again, so for our first evaluation, my temperature was 98.8 and my BPM was 74. However, not much happens, or at least nothing noteworthy. For almost half an hour, we're all slowly getting more annoyed as we keep getting put in matches against people who are significantly better than us. As our annoyance slowly crept up, mine jumped up some more after I realized I'd failed to queue in a match with my friends, and I had to watch one of them play instead.
The one match I'm not in is the one game you guys are winning.
So angry.
A little bit.
Before we baby just like sold like 5 people.
So, I took the opportunity to take my temperature and BPM again. My temperature clocking in at 98, and my BPM at 77. Luckily, I don't have to wait any longer, and I soon joined my friends and decided to just help support my team since I was clearly bad at getting any kills. For the rest of the gaming session, we actually won some of the next games and our mood actually went up, or at least we were enjoying ourselves due to our win streak. Overall, besides mild annoyance, we experienced no violence whatsoever.
For our last multiplayer game, we decided to play Lethal Company, a horror co-op game where you work in a team of 4 to collect scraps and junk from buildings on different planets to meet quota to turn them for money, to then get better equipment, all the while surviving what monsters lurk in said buildings. I had some trouble getting on the game, so the rest of the group did the first venture without me, but both Sebastian and I took our temperature since Elijah and Jupiter couldn't again. Yet 2 people's data was all we really needed. We all took the first evaluation. My BPM was 90 and my temperature was 98.5, while Sebastian's temperature was 98.1 and his BPM was 82. I was soon able to join them in the game, but complained about my mic and was completely focused on changing my mic to Jupiter's dismay, as they wanted nothing more than to just focus on getting footage. Sorry, Jupiter.
Okay, Logan, try not changing your mic, and maybe we can get this done. Okay? And if you change your mic again, with all the niceness I can give in this situation, we will abandon you.
Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. We all played the game, and besides our struggle in the beginning, not much happens. We took the second evaluation with my BPM being 96 and temperature being 98.4, while Sebastian's temperature was 98.6 and his BPM was 80. However, I would soon have to leave more than halfway through the session, leaving just Elijah, Jupiter, and Sebastian. Even with my departure, nothing happens as we all finish the hour of playing our game and take the final evaluation. Sebastian's temperature was 98.3 and BPM was 61. So, in the end, not much happened.
For the single player games, I'll be showing my gameplay. Our first game was Doom, a first person shooter. I take the evaluation with my temperature at 97.9 and my BPM at 85. For roughly the first couple minutes of figuring out the controls and where to progress to, I venture off and go to the first level. I am able to get all the way to the 4th level and I was enjoying the game. However, my game bugs out and I become unable to turn my camera side to side, which prompted me to restart and go to the second episode. 4 minutes later, I soon reached the 30-minute mark and I did the second evaluation, with my temperature recording at 98.6 and my BPM at 72. However, I soon realized that the second episode was much harder as it took me roughly 20 minutes to beat the first level, and by the second level I spent the rest of the recording dying and losing horribly. What a great game. I soon grew tired and annoyed as I kept dying over and over again, and by the time it was over, I took the final evaluation to get things over with, and my temperature was 98.3 and my BPM was 84. For the second game, I played Tetris, and before I start, as always, I take the first evaluation and my temperature was 98 and my BPM was 83. Now, the second will be short due to the fact that I suck at Tetris, and all the way up to the 30-minute mark, my highest score was only 9k. Anyways, I take the second evaluation test with my temperature being 97.9 and my BPM at 71. As I go back to play Tetris for another grueling half an hour, I managed to beat my high score by 3,000 with my new best being 12k. However, I was tired of it already and so much more excited that I was done. I take the final evaluation test and my temperature being 98.1 and my BPM at 75. For the last game, I played Minecraft. I did the first evaluation test and my temperature is 98.2 while my BPM is 79. When I spawn in, I get some wood and soon get stone tools. I then make a boat and begin to travel the ocean in hopes of finding a better island. I end up finding a cave on an island I arrive at and I begin to explore it. I end up finding iron and soon I take the second evaluation test when a 30-minute passes. My temperature at 98.2 and my BPM at 78. Nothing super insane happens afterwards and I continue exploring until I find diamonds and make some tools. After that, I mine obsidian to make another portal and go to nether, but when I do, a bad spawn and spend the rest of the video just traveling. I end up taking the final evaluation test, my temperature at 98.3 and my BPM at 77. When it comes to Jupiter's single-player games, they said nothing really happened. There were a couple of bits that were slightly stressful during their Doom gameplay, and the hour-long gameplay of Tetris was more terrifying than violent or anger-inducing. And at the time, they were unable to play Minecraft, but with all the info we had, it wasn't even necessary. Even without being able to take their BPM, they still managed to take their temperature, with their temperature in the beginning for their Doom gameplay being 98.2, then 97.5 midway, and at the end, their temperature was 98. For their Tetris gameplay, their temperature in the beginning was 97.4, then 98, and at the end, it was 98.4. Overall, the single-player games at no point made them violent whatsoever.
To conclude, video games do not cause violence. Throughout our entire experiment, none of us were violent or had violent intentions. What people mostly felt was frustration, annoyance, and just plain anger, all of which aren't violence.
And here marks the end. We hope you enjoyed the video.
Today we'll be recording how different forms of metal react to a 700 wattage microwave. Firstly, we'll be putting our metal into the microwave for 30 seconds. But first, before we do all this, we will have to take some safety precautions. We will have a barrier formed from 2 tables and some plexiglass, a fire extinguisher, tongs, and an adult supervisor.
But wait, how do microwaves work? To put it simply, microwaves are a special, very short kind of wave. When you put a piece of food into a microwave, the atoms in the food get hit by the waves, causing them to vibrate and heat up. When you put a fork or a piece of foil in the microwave, the same thing should happen, right? Actually, metal reflects microwaves, sending them back into the wires and electrical components of the microwave, which could be dangerous. But would this really make a microwave explode?
And don't worry, if anything goes wrong, we have an adult chaperone because this is done in a controlled environment. We have our barricade right here. We have a barricade to protect us in case the microwave throws away some particles and explodes. Right now, we are going to finally start, okay? And 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds. I didn't know what I expected. Okay, get the tongs, scientists. The fork is hot, really hot, but
Is it?
yeah, it's like, ow, don't touch it.
hot.
All right, right now, the fork test has passed. So next time, we're going to try with tin foil. We are now going to put the tinfoil into the microwave. 3, 2, 1. All in. What did it do? Nothing. Literally nothing. Here we are. The literally non-affected tinfoil. Literally nothing. As you can see, nothing really happened. This is the same fork that we microwaved for 30 seconds. But now, let's try and microwave the same fork for 1 minute. Putting the fork in the microwave, and now we're going to do it for 1 full minute. Oh wait, yeah, run! Oh, it's done. It is now done. Now we will take it out. As we can see inside the microwave, it seems to not be harmed in any way. Now let's do this again, but with 1 minute with the tin foil. We decided to pack the tin foil a little more looser so we can let that hot inside go into the crevices of the tin foil. Now we're gonna do the tin foil again, but for 1 whole minute. So, putting the tin foil in the microwave. Go, 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 go!
I feel like I just heard crackling.
had done. Cameramen said that they heard some crackling. The only thing that changed from our last experiment is that we heard more crackling with the tinfoil for 1 whole minute. In our data research, the fork and the tinfoil didn't really exactly affect the microwave as we thought it would be, based on what our parents have told us throughout the years.
In the previous footage recorded, you have witnessed our scientists take a boundary set by parents since the microwave first came around and defied it. Overall, we can determine that this myth is busted. However, due to our microwave being a lower wattage at 700 watts and our time constraints were set to 30 seconds and 1 minute, there is no guarantee that this myth is truly busted for every wattage of microwave. Along with this, our metal did react by becoming hotter. But if the wattage had been higher or the time in the microwave had been longer, there's every possibility that there could have been a further reaction. So as always, do not repeat these actions in your own home.
The thing is opened. Yay!
Then we got Imogen with the fire extinguisher, and he's got a bit of an audience. So
A little bit of an audience.
right now, alright guys, are we gonna get in for 2 minutes?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
2 minutes. We're just doing this for fun because we want things to explode. Pretty much. Okay, ready guys? Ready. Go be.
Run.
It's smoking. Maya, it's
Oh,
smoking.
Maya, get away! Maya, back up!
It's smoking. Oh, well, finally, it's doing something. How long did you put it there?
2 minutes.
I think it's done.
Oh. Put it in for another minute.
Another minute?
Oh.
Anyone like a warm cup of noodle?
A warm understatement. Oh. Oh. Wow, that looks really good.
Greetings and salutations, families and friends. We have spent lots of time constructing a Mythbusters experiment for you all today. This Mythbusters experiment is fully based off of research already done and research that also continues on to this day. Our guiding question is, are different taste buds activated by different flavors? I hope you all enjoy learning about this as much as we did. And as always, stay curious.
For this Mythbusters experiment, we are using the 5 main tastes: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. Some of you may have never heard the term umami before, and it's often described as a savory, meaty flavor. And the powders that we are using are malic acid for sour, powdered sugar for sweet, coffee grounds for bitter, sea salt for salty, and chicken bouillon powder for umami.
Our group includes Gracie, Gabby, Olivia, and me, Kenzie. We also decided to take part in the experiment and test these things on ourselves along with other students on campus who agreed to participate with us.
For a bit of background, the first study that was ever conducted on this myth began in 1901 with a German scientist named D.P. Heinig. He researched the 4 basic tastes and determined that there were 4 distinct regions on the tongue. More modern research has shown that there are some minor regional variations in sensitivity, but they are not significant enough to be exclusive zones.
I want to explain a little bit about our experiment. We will be using charts and images to help us determine where and how intensely people tasted things.
Let's dive a little deeper into how taste buds actually work. Taste buds work by using tiny hair-like receptors to detect chemicals in food, which send signals to the brain for processing. When you chew, food releases chemical molecules to enter the pores of the taste buds, where they bind to taste receptors on the taste cells. Those then trigger one of the 5 basic tastes: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami.
We will have 2 trials to test this myth with 4 people in our group and 4 people who don't know a lot about the experiment. Trial 1 will have people allowed to see and smell the flavors to see if it causes a different reaction. And trial 2 will have people blindfolded. After every test, each individual will write down the spot they felt was activated most on the tongue. We noticed some of the answers in the data could have been altered because of where the Q-tip was placed and how much was on it.
We found that while all areas of the tongue can detect tastes, there are slight differences in sensitivity. The edges of the tongue being generally more sensitive than the middle, but these differences are minor and do not create exclusive zones.
The myth is undetermined. Thank you so much for watching.
Today we're putting it to the test because here we don't just believe the story, we test it. Let's find out.
Press it?
But where did this idea even come from? A lot of this myth can be traced back to children's stories and early cartoons. These playful tales often showed seeds magically sprouting the moment they touched the ground, or apparently your digestive system. Here's an example of just one cartoon.
Now remember, don't eat the seeds or one's gonna grow in your belly.
We are trying to replicate if watermelon seeds can grow inside stomach acid. Right here we have pH 1 through pH 7. Now we're gonna put the pH levels on the watermelon seeds. So I'm gonna do 6 for each.
For each pH level of acid is 10 times stronger than the last bottle.
To find out whether swallowing a single watermelon seed could actually grow a melon inside your stomach, we need to simulate what would really happen inside the human digestive system. First, we gathered about 30 watermelon seeds. Then we asked Edmondson if he could make stomach acid for us. Next, we divided the seeds into groups by placing 2 seeds in each paper towel. Each paper towel went into a separate paper cup. We carefully wetted each paper towel with its assigned acid level, labeled the cups, and placed them all in the same environment. But we ran into a problem. The seeds molded and ran out, and we didn't have enough time to start over because the watermelon seeds can take up 10 days to germinate. So we decided to continue with radish and sunflower seeds, both which have much faster germination rate. After weeks of careful observation, let's break down what happened. At pH 7, which is just plain water, our seeds were thriving. They absorbed moisture, sprouted roots, and grew into tiny seedlings. At pH 6 and 5, things were still looking pretty good. Growth was slower, but the seeds managed to sprout. But once we got to pH 4, the seeds started to struggle. Then we hit pH 3, 2, and 1, the range of actual human stomach acid. And here's where things get real. pH 2 and 3 did actually sprout, but pH 1 showed no sign of life because the acid is way too strong for the seed to sprout and killed the plant itself. So what does this mean? If you swallow a watermelon seed, your stomach isn't going to plant it, water it, and a melon will grow inside you. Your stomach acid is way too strong for that. Instead, the seed gets broken down and digested like everything else. So the myth that a watermelon can grow inside your stomach is busted.
Do a little model turn.
Hello, my name is Mitchell. I'm the video editor and screenwriter. I do all the effects, the cuts, all that stuff.
My name is Dylan. I'm the director and the cameraman.
My name is Benjamin, and I am the set designer and scientist.
My items very efficiently, quickly, and in a
Oh no. 5-second rule. That gives me an idea.
Hello, my name is Benjamin Schuster. I am a scientist. In this episode, we will be testing the 5-second rule to see if it's true or not. So let's get started.
Access denied.
Stop!
These are our petri dishes. The controlled samples. The test on tile. And on carpet. These samples left in the incubator for 72 hours. Compared to the control, the tile and carpet have grown more bacteria even within 5 seconds of contamination. Our controlled samples averaged 7 bacteria colonies, while the carpet averaged 259. And the tile averaged 177 colonies. So we have concluded that the 5-second rule is debunked.
Hey, my name is Kevin.
My name is Jordan.
And my name's Legend. And
we're
the Mythbusters!
Oh, hey, good to see you there. You might have heard that a toilet's the dirtiest place in your house.
But what if I told you that ain't true?
What if we told you kitchen sponges are worse?
Okay, this is an incubator. The reason that we put this in here is because it's warm and it keeps the bacteria warm, and when the bacteria is warm, they're able to grow, especially when it has this beef broth, because the beef broth has all the nutrients inside of it. So when we let that incubate for a day or two, then we can actually see the bacteria, and we bring it over here, and then we put it in this tube, and we put it in here, and the number on the screen will tell us how much, and you put it in here, it shines a light, and the number right here will tell us how much light is going to go pass through and how much is going to be absorbed by the bacteria inside.
Okay, so right now, we're going to swab the student toilet 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. I already taped it off, it's square. So I'm just going to dip this in here. I'm going to swab it all the way around. And just swirl it back in here. Okay, so now we're gonna do the faculty sponge. Apparently it's been sitting here for a while. Not sure what I'm getting into, but we're about to enter that zone. Already got the thing taped up. Same process, open the lid, Get it wet in there. Swab the centimeter by a centimeter. Oh, it smells bad. And then put it back in there. This is the staff truly. We're gonna see how nasty they really are. Oh, that's a good sample. Okay, so this is an incubator. We're gonna open it. We have the controlled variable in there, the controlled. That means there's nothing in it. So that way, when light passes through it, we know what's the base amount. So this is the staff bathroom, student bathroom, and the sponge. And I'm just gonna stack them in the incubator. Okay, so we had to rerun the test because the first test we did, we put it in the incubator sideways and it wasn't supposed to, but it leaked out. So we had to rerun the test, but it's the same exact test, same swab bank, same everything. Okay, so we collected the data and researched it all. So the final results are the student bathroom, 13% of light pass through, meaning 87% is blocked by bacteria. The sponge, 67% of light passes through, meaning that 33% of the light is blocked by bacteria. The staff bathroom, 6% of light passes through, meaning that 94% of the
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Light is blocked by bacteria. So, in conclusion, the toilets are dirtier than the kitchen sponge, but the staff bathroom is dirtier than the student bathroom.